Do you know what truly exhausts older people? It's not aging, it's not illness, it's the feeling that you no longer matter. You help others before they even ask. You say yes, even when your body is crying out no. But when you need someone, truly need them, all you get is silence. You've spent a lifetime being kind. But somewhere along the way, kindness turned into obligation. People come to you only to take, never to give. And here's a shocking truth no one talks about. After 65, the most dangerous thing isn't disease. It's spending your final precious years on the wrong people. That might sound harsh, but what if I told you there are 5 kinds of people you should no longer be kind to? Not because you're mean, but because your peace at this age is sacred. This video will help you clearly see who's quietly draining your joy and your strength. More importantly, it'll show you how to reclaim the peace you rightfully deserve, how to protect the beautiful days still waiting for you. If any part of this feels familiar, don't look away, because what you're about to hear might just change the rest of your life. And if you've ever felt taken for granted, leave a heart in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss stories that truly speak to your heart. You deserve to be heard, understood, and to live as your most authentic self. 1. The one who always takes but never gives. Have you ever noticed some people only call when they need something? They don't check on you when you're sick. They don't remember your birthday. They don't care how you're feeling. But when they need a babysitter, a ride, a quick loan, they think of you first. In that moment, you're the good one. But only then. That's what happened to Linda, 70, from Portland. Everyone in the neighborhood adored her because she never said no. Last-minute emergencies? Call Linda. Forgot to water your plants? Linda will do it. Need a hand over the weekend? Linda's there. But when Linda was bedridden for a week with the flu, no one checked in. Her birthday passed quietly. Her kindness, once praised, was now expected. And one day, she sat down and realized the painful truth. She wasn't a beloved friend or family member. She had become a convenient service. Are you someone's Linda? If you've ever felt this way, leave a comment. I know this feeling. Not just to share, but to let others know they're not alone. Dear friend, kindness doesn't mean being constantly available. You have the right to say no without guilt. You don't owe anyone an explanation. You deserve to be treated like a person, not just a help button people press when it suits them. And if someone is only around when they need something from you, the hard truth is they may have never truly valued you at all. 2. The one who always criticizes but calls it caring. I used to meet up with my cousin every Sunday. Lunch, family stories, just the 2 of us. To outsiders, it looked beautiful. How wonderful to still be close to family. But I always drove home feeling hollow. He never raised his voice, never directly insulted me. Just casual little comments like, "You look a bit worn out. Are you sleeping okay? Still driving that old car. Thought you'd be doing better by now. Still making videos for seniors? That's cute." They sounded harmless, but each one was a tiny cut to my confidence. And the worst part? I started believing them. I even stopped making videos for a month, thinking, maybe no one's watching anyway. If you've ever walked away from a conversation feeling smaller, heavier, it's time to say enough. Because that's your sign. You need to protect yourself. At this stage of life, We don't need relationships that make us shrink. You don't have to endure to be polite. You have the right to walk away and seek out the respect you deserve. If this resonates with you, share your story in the comments. I'm listening. 3. The guilt tripper, subtle control disguised as love. I remember the afternoon I said no to taking my granddaughter shopping. I had already made plans to play golf with a friend. It was the first time in months I chose myself. That night I got a text from my daughter. I just thought, family always puts each other first. It was gentle, but it hit like a knife. I canceled the golf outing, not out of duty, but out of guilt. And you know what happened next? I started putting my own needs last. Again, back to being always available, but feeling empty inside. Guilt trippers don't yell, they don't scold, they sigh, stay silent, or drop sad little comments, just enough to make you question yourself. But hear me out. Kindness does not mean abandoning yourself. You don't need to be easy to love all the time to be loved. If guilt has ever made you betray your own needs, talk to me in the comments. Because from this point forward, your mental peace is not optional. It must be your top priority. 4. The quiet competitor, who smiles but isn't happy for you. I used to think, after 60, who's still competing? Turns out some people never stop comparing, even with gray hair and grandkids. I had an old friend, same age as me. We met up weekly, talked about family, health, little joys in life. Then I started creating videos for older folks. He laughed and said, "You're on YouTube now, cute." I just gave a talk at the retirement club. When I mentioned I'd started walking 3 miles every morning, he said, "Nice." I signed up for a charity walk, got featured in the local paper too. No outright insults, just every time I shared something I was proud of, he had to one-up it. At first I thought, maybe I'm being too sensitive, but slowly, I stopped sharing. I didn't feel safe celebrating my wins. Have you ever had a friend whose support felt off? Whose smile didn't quite reach their eyes? If so, drop a comment. I've hidden my joy before. Not because you weren't proud, but because someone close didn't want to see you shine. Dear friend, friendship is not a competition. You don't need to win. You just need to be seen and celebrated. After 60, we don't need spectators. We need companions. People who clap genuinely when we succeed and quietly sit beside us when we don't. If someone makes you dim your light just to stay close, maybe it's time to tune out that frequency. 5. The passive-aggressive manipulator, words that cut with a smile. My old neighbor Rick, charming, cheerful, always greeted with a big smile. Everyone liked him, but I knew that smile came with little stings. One day, I asked for help moving a cabinet. He chuckled and said, "Starting to wear down, huh? If I help, I might throw out my back." It sounded like a joke, but guess what? I never asked again. I moved that cabinet myself. Hurt my back for days, all to avoid another joke that felt like a slap. Then came the little comments. Still living alone, I'd lose my mind. Red shirt today, bold choice. I thought guys our age only wore gray. These weren't conversations. They were constant, quiet erosion. If you've ever been around someone like this, type, "I no longer enjoy our talks." Let that be your reminder. Not every smile is warm. Passive aggression is the most dangerous kind of harm, because you don't even realize it's happening until you begin to doubt your worth. I used to stay silent until I learned You don't need a reason to walk away from someone who makes you feel like you're walking on eggshells. If someone makes you guess their meaning, tiptoe around their moods, second-guess your words, that's not peace, that's exhaustion, and you deserve to live unburdened and true. No more pretending. Closing, it's time to redefine your circle. I know, everything we've talked about isn't easy, especially when the person you need to step away from is someone you once deeply loved. A relative, a longtime friend, someone who once felt like home. But one day, like I did, you'll sit quietly with a cup of lukewarm tea and realize you've given so much, and you've rarely stopped to ask, who's giving back to me? Not everyone who leaves your life is a loss. Some people exit, and what you lose is stress, pain, and heaviness. After 60 or 70, we don't have the time or energy for relationships that weigh us down. No more fake smiles, no more walking on emotional landmines, no more bending just to keep someone else comfortable. We need people who listen without judgment, words that make us feel safe, not small, hugs when we're fragile, not sarcasm when we set boundaries. You have the right to redefine your circle, and sometimes self-love begins with a simple word: enough. If someone in your life is draining you today, remember, you're not being cruel by stepping back. You're growing. You're protecting the most sacred chapter of your life. I did it. I lost a few people, but I found myself again. If you saw yourself in any of these stories, leave a comment. I'm learning to choose peace. I read every single one, and I want you to know you are not alone. Share this video with someone who might need to hear this today. It could be the key that unlocks their own freedom. And please like, share, and subscribe so we can walk this path together every day. Because here, these videos aren't just stories. They are a space where you are heard, healed, and held. Growing older is not the end. It's the purest season of your life. And you deserve to live it freely, gently, and beautifully. Because sometimes the bravest thing you'll ever do is choose yourself again.